All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Just returned from a holiday in Italy, and I actually am looking at the truck back from Bernhausen Diesel for the first time, and I'm going to break down this 2022 Ram 3500 high output Cummins. This is going to be an in-depth explanation as to what I've done to this truck since I bought it from new, and how each modification improves performance and durability and overall driving experience. I rarely leave anything stock in my life. I love to improve, and when I found out how many problems these Gen 5 Rams were having, or were gonna have, I decided to make this a project truck rather than keep rebuying new trucks and rewarding dealerships and OEMs for producing junk and overcharging for them. So we'll try and look at the technical side of every upgrade and then tie it all together so you can see how the truck works as an integrated system. Again, I'm looking at this for the first time, and like, just such nice little details that Bernhausen does here. Just studs by Bernhausen Diesel. That's really trick. Thank you very much, guys. That looks beautiful. So if we start with the engine and the performance part of the build, I did a Hamilton cam conversion here in the last month, and the stock camshaft is it's really designed for emissions and general use, not for optimized performance. So not only that, but there's this issue of lifter failures, and particularly the hydraulic lifters failing, push rods that get easily worn out with use. And so I thought, what the heck, let's just do the Hamilton cam conversion. The cam itself improves valve timing. It opens the valves earlier and holds them open for longer for better cylinder filling. It creates longer low-end torque and smoother spool up for the turbo, and reduces the valve train stress. So what the Hamilton cam gives me is a more efficient, durable engine that breathes better under load. And then we decided that we would go with the Fleece Chetah, which is kind of buried there. These OEM turbos are notorious for VGT failures, and the Fleece is not as restrictive. It definitely flows more air. It spools pretty quick, and it uses an optimized turbine and compressor wheel design that reduces lag, builds boost faster, and supports higher power output without sacrificing the drivability. And that was key to me. I didn't want to do anything that sacrificed my drivability just for the sake of power. More usable power across the RPM range, and especially when we're towing or accelerating on the highway. So that was kind of why we did it. As you can tell, I have a Banks Super Scoop and the Banks boost tubes and the Banks Monster Ram. So the whole idea here with obviously the weight loss program, guys, you see that this truck was done right away. The idea was just to make it breathe better, and helping that fleece, or fleece helping the whole system just to move air better and more efficiently, while giving us better longevity as well too. So if you want to just have a look at the Monster Ram, that factory intake, guys, is super narrow and restricts the airflow a lot. Never mind the whole grid heater problem with the bolt breaking off on the grid heater and grenading your engine. That thing is super restrictive compared to the Banks, and there's been a million videos done on that. So basically double the cross-sectional area of the intake with the Banks Monster Ram, so it really reduces the restriction. Big thing here, guys, is that helps to lower EGTs, improves the turbo efficiency, supports higher boost and increases reliability under sustained loads. So that was the why behind that piece. And then if we move down, guys, to see, you can see that, you know, Bernhausen did the studs. It's beautiful. You can see the ARP studs on this side. And obviously if we deleted the truck and tuned it and we're trying to run a little more power and torque, a little bit more boost, the stock head bolts can stretch, and that's never a good thing. We get head gasket failures on these things when that happens. So the ARP studs use a higher tensile strength material and thread designed to clamp the head securely to the block. We machined it, it's perfect, put a new gasket down, did it the right way, no corners cut at all. So obviously this all prevents lifting under boost and ensures the long-term sealing reliability, especially when combined with the higher boost pressures from the Fleece Chetah and the tune we've got in. So I guess we'll talk a little bit. I know the guys in the US have a little more restrictions than we do up here where I live, but we got rid of all the emissions and did a full delete, a 4-inch exhaust right from the downpipe of the turbo all the way back. Got rid of the EGR and just took away what I think is arguably the most irritating part of this whole modern diesel, which is the emission system. So, you know, I get the debate about emissions systems serving an important role. They introduce restrictions in heat. So the delete basically optimizes combustion, reduces back pressure, and eliminates soot buildup in the intake and exhaust. And I know there's lots of videos out there, guys, that just show what can happen with emission stuff, and it's never good. Again, this results in lower EGTs, cleaner operation, and more consistent power delivery, especially with heavy towing. So that's a couple other things that I would say here is we put this cool fleece coolant bypass kit, and you can see it here, and it's gonna deliver cooling to the back 5 and 6 cylinders. But it's a really pretty piece, and it's well known that these Cummins engines, you can see the piece running all the way back to deliver coolant to the back. These Cummins engines, they don't get a lot of airflow or coolant flow back to those two engines, or 2 cylinders in the back of the engine. And if you're doing a lot of towing or you're running a higher horsepower, man, you can cook that 6-cylinder pretty good. So I think this is a must, this coolant bypass kit. And then obviously you can't see it here, but I can just make it out down there, guys. But I got the bulletproof water pump. Wish I could get the camera down there a little better, but you can just see it right there. And that's another key piece of the coolant system. All metal impeller as opposed to a plastic one. And then this upper coolant connector as well as plastic on the OEM, and they break and leak coolant everywhere, so we went with a nice metal one there. Little things like that just to make the truck more reliable and ensure something as important as a coolant system doesn't fail, particularly leaving you stranded out in the middle of nowhere, maybe towing something. And we also did a fast fuel system on this truck, and you can see the fast lines going right in the high pressure pump there. And so while we had the truck out for the delete, with the Hamilton cabs, we deleted the in-bay fuel filter housing that we no longer obviously need with the fast system. So that's nice. It really opens up the engine bay. This truck's a dream to work on. You can get your hands, down in here really easy now. So yeah, that's gone. That was another pretty cool thing that we just did with the engine out. What else have we done with this thing? Oh, I think it's a good time to talk about one of my favorite things with the truck. I went with a Carly pin top, 3 1/4 kit from CJC Off-Road. So you got the King 2.5 reservoir shocks. We got the progressive Carly springs, a torsion sway bar, and I got the lower and upper steering stabilizer. Also went with the progressive leaf spring pack, and I do have the air ride truck, but I got the progressive leaf spring truck kit with it. And I know we talked about this in another video on my channel, but I also went with Celastic shackles right there, and that's a money move to make the unloaded ride great. And we again went with the MBRP 4-inch full exhaust, but the Carly pin top kit with all of those additional add-ons are just awesome. And then we ran a forged wheel, it's trail ready CJC off-road special edition wheel that's got the right back spacing for these Ram trucks. And I ran Falcon AT3 Wild Peak in a 37 by 12.5 20-inch wheel, and I've been really pleased with the way this thing, we run about 40 psi unloaded, 38 to 40 psi in the rear, and about 45 47 in the front, and the unloaded ride is really good. I just think too, like with the custom tuned King shocks, the ride comfort's really good, but man, when you are towing with any kind of weight on this truck, it is so tight and composed and stabilized. And then the torsion sway bar completely frees up the front end from the original OEM sway bar, and that allows each wheel to move independently over the bumps, and you don't get that smashing back and forth over side bumps, or going even over a speed bump. It's fantastic. That's got to be one of the best upgrades I've ever seen from a drivability standpoint. So the Carly kit, really good with the King shocks, super stable and poised under load. And yet somehow when you're driving it as a daily driver, it feels very plush for a 1-ton truck. So, I mean, obviously it's never going to be like a 1/2 ton, but it's pretty dang good for the capability of the truck to ride that smooth as a daily driver. Each modification not only improves the truck's specific area, but I tried to build something that each part contributes to the whole. The Hamilton cams and the Banks intake improve the airflow, which feeds the Chetah turbo more efficiently. The turbo delivers the higher boost that I'm looking for, and the ARP studs secure it all under pressure. The suspension upgrades harness the added power and keep the truck stable and comfortable, even with the big 37-inch tires. And the forged wheels and the Wild Peak tires put that power and control to the ground with confidence. I think this is a pretty cohesive and comprehensive build. It's powerful, things reliable now, smooth riding, and I really think it's ready for any challenge. Incidentally, when we did look at this engine when it was torn down, we didn't see any wear on the push rods at all, or the rocker arms. They were actually all really good. We did see some premature wear on the hydraulic lifters and on the cam. So that was actually just good to know that definitely some parts were showing premature wear, whereas our lifters were all perfect. Not one of them, the push rods were all perfect. Not one of them was showing any signs of excessive wear. So I think that's it for this one, guys. I'll do a drivability one here next, but this is a good breakdown of what we've done. And man, I just love that. It's just these guys at Burnhausen and Langley, BC are just such class guys, and they do such good work, and they're really delightful as a whole group of people to work for, or to work with on a project like this. I mean, this isn't cheap, but I'm not looking for the cheapest job. I'm looking for a job that's well done. And I think the Burnhausen guys, they met me on price to a fair level, and they did incredible work. So the next video will do a drivability, but that's it for now. I hope you all have a great night, and thanks for continuing to watch. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And please leave a comment on what you think I should do next to this truck, because I always want to evolve it. I always want to keep improving it. So what do you think I'm missing, and what should I do to make it better? Or maybe you don't like something that I've done here. Maybe you think it's stupid, and tell me why. I would love to interact with you in the comments. Thanks, everybody.